everybody, welcome to another edition of Toddster's Magical Mystery Review. I'm your host Toddster, and today we're going to take a look at the monthly extra review. And this month we're going to take a look at the Magical Mystery Tour movie. Yes, directed by the Beatles themselves. Came out in 1967 on Apple Films, and I don't know what this thing led to. But anyway, yeah, this is a pretty interesting movie, and how it came about. Well, largely it was Paul's idea to make this movie, and he was making these little surrealistic home movies. When he was on a holiday or something, and that sort of inspired him to make a proper film. And so what happens for the script, he just had a piece of paper with a circle around it and a little dot in between, and so make like a little pie chart of each segment or something like that. But yeah, and the filming took place mostly around the West countryside, and it took about 2-3 weeks to make, and yet the editing took about 3 months to edit, and roughly the first cut was 10 hours, and that would be interesting to see. Yet it was cut down to an hour long film, and of course this was shown on BBC television on Boxing Day, December 26, 1967, and yet this was shown in black and white. Yes, this colorful psychedelic movie was shown in black and white, and this was the first time that critics rashed on the Beatles. They hated this movie, and roughly when you see it in black and white, it does look a bit pale. But once you see it in color, it makes more sense and all that. But yeah, that's so let's talk about the summary. So Richard B. Starkey, aka Ringo, and his aunt Jessie, they sort of hop on board the Magical Mystery Tour bus. Already in a frenzy argument and all that. And once we get on the bus, we meet all sorts of different characters. The midget photographer, a film actress, a passenger, Mr. Blood Vessel, thinks he's the courier, and even falls in love with Jessie, and then Paul takes us to Nice, France, for the Fool on the Hill piece. And then we're introduced to the other courier, Miss Wendy Winters. Good morning, Miss Winters, Miss Winters, Miss Winters. And then and then we get to meet the crazy army sergeant, Victor Spinetti, and he does a little plays bullfighting with a stuffed cow and all that. It's absolutely hilarious. And then there's some a marathon race which turns into a drag race, and then we get a little bit further. We get to meet the magicians who control the magic, so to speak. And we're back to Mr. Blood Vessel. Even dreams up his little dream with Aunt Jessie, and then we get to the I Am the Walrus bit, which is the big highlights of the movie. And yet we see John playing around with the little girl, little Nicola as she's known. Play with the balloon. Have a guess. And then Aunt Jessie, we get into her dream, where she has a dinner with Blood Vessel, with the big plates of spaghetti, and John's sort of shoveling onto her plate and all that, and sort of weirdness going around. Yet the passengers, they're taken into this this little tent, which turns into like a big movie theater. Probably makes you think that that tent is a TARDIS. But yeah, and then we see George's Blue Jayway bit. And yet, we get, and then later on, everyone gets all drunk and, does shanty sing-alongs and all that. And then the men is taken to a strip joint where they're being entertained by a stripper and the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band playing Death Cab for Cutie, which, is named for band some 30, 40 years later. And then the film ends with the boys all dressed up in tuxedo dancing about "Your Mother Should Know." But yeah, so that's the movie. So yeah, and best bits. Well, I really like Victor Spinetti's scene is as I said, probably one of my favorite bits. And then I'm the Walrus segment, of course, and the sing along, and yeah. So yeah, and I should talk about the little reissue that came out a few years ago, and yeah, all sorts of bonus features in here. There's some scenes that were cut out. Like one of the passengers, Happy Nat, the tall guy with the fake mustache. We see his little dream, which John actually directed, and also alternate edits of some songs, and to some and they go into some fish and chip shop for some fish and chips, and Mr. Bloodvessel has a little song, and we also get to see Traffic, Steve Winwood and the company. Here we go around the mulberry bush, and yeah, so yeah, a whole bunch of stuff on the DVD and Blu-ray reissue. So what to say about the movie overall? Well, it feels more like a vacation movie, a home movie, than an actual movie. But yet we cannot underestimate the musical numbers that are included in between, and yeah, as far as my rating, I'm going to give this 3 Beatles out of 5. Yes, 3 Beatles for Magical Mystery Tour. Yep, the movie. And so yeah, my name is Toddster, and you just watched another Magical Mystery review of A Magical Mystery Tour. And we'll see you next time. Until then, toodaloo.